Hello, I'm E.R. Vogel, local poet and fellow overthinker, and welcome to another episode of Inspiring Instinct, a safe place to feel and learn about how to be creative. Today, I want to talk to you about the importance of a setting. It's good to know where you are. It makes people feel safe. And when people feel safe, they are more likely to think and listen and pay attention to what story you're actually telling in the first place. If they don't know where they are, they're just going to be confused and try to figure it out in their own head. You have to make it as clear as you can, but still having some fun with it. The main differences you could do is real versus fantasy. We've all seen a movie, set in New York City, a place you can actually go and visit, and you can go see Times Square and can make you think your favorite movie childhood growing up. Or you could do something like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, this fantasy world that can never actually exist but can be fantastic to imagine real. Now, a real setting is good to have the audience be submerged in the world. They already are familiar with it, so they can be safe to just listen. And in the fantasy world, it's really good to help escape from the real world. That's also really good to do sometimes. So that escapism really helps them focus on how they can be a part of that world in the first place. But an example I have of a real place with a fake story is one of my favorite poems by Robert Frost, Out, Out. The buzzsaw snarled and rattled in the yard and made dust and dropped stove-length sticks out of wood, sweet-scented stuff when the breeze drew across it. And from there, those that lifted eyes could count 5 mountain ranges, one behind the other, under the sunset far into Vermont. And the saw snarled and rattled, as it ran light or had to bear a load. And nothing happened. Day was all but done. Call it a day. I wish they might have said to please the boy by giving him the half hour that a boy counts so much when saved from work. His sister stood beside them in her apron to tell them supper at the word, the saw, as if to prove saws knew what supper meant, leaped out of the boy's hand, or seemed to leap. He must have given the hand, however it was. Neither refused the meeting, but the hand. The boy's first outcry was a rueful laugh, as he swung toward them holding up the hand, half in appeal, but half as if to keep the life from spilling. Then the boy saw all, since he saw old enough to know big boy doing a man's work, though a child at heart. He saw all spoiled. Don't let him cut my hand off. The doctor, when he comes, don't let him, sister. So, but the hand was gone already. The doctor put him in the dark of ether. He lay and puffed his lips out of his breath, and then the watcher, as his pulse took fright. No one believed. They listened as his heart. Little, less, nothing. That ended. No more to build on there, and they, since they were not the one dead, turned to their affairs. I know it's a pretty morbid story about nothing that actually happened, but the realness of being in the woods in Vermont and having just a boy chopping wood accidentally chop his hand off, you can see yourself diving into that. Another very fun aspect of paying attention to the setting is choosing between going under detailed or over detailed. if you go under, you leave more to the imagination while still setting up a frame of a place to be at. You can use that little bit of details to sprinkle in, add to the story as it goes along, or you can overly detail everything. Just shove it all in their ears, and then maybe they'll forget something that you can bring on later, and that remembrance makes them feel safer and reassured that they are in this room with them. One example I wrote of an overly detailed setting, it's about a couple. Hardwood floors carry our bare feet over the cracked window, leaking rain onto the couch, older than our ages combined. Stains of all kind tell stories of my father's and my grandmother's childhood, and some from years later. 3 generations this comfort object hasn't moved, except for the random obsessive cleaning my cousin would ensue the half a year she had to crash here after the divorce. The slight breach in the window was caused by our eldest, being an only child then, when learning of her upcoming brother, and wanted some fresh air to help think all this over. We put away her painted stone decorations after that cold February day. Water dripping on my back doesn't remind me of this, nor distract me from the moment. These stories live in my blood. I'm a vessel to my history and aim to add to it. It's been so long since it was just us two. I almost, but no, I never will, forgot the feeling of your breath prance around my neck every time you moan my name. Wrapped in immense passion and dog hair, we never lost that spark. Glittering eyes, chest puffed, and half-bitten lips never stopped even after I broke both our hearts questioning the world we built. The storm intensifies our embrace. We finally are what we're meant to be. Curtains flutter and sync with our breath, a breath that can only be formed by 2. Reacting to every nick in our souls makes us deaf to the couch crawling along the wall with the torn and tired paper, adding to the detailed Native American theme intended to keep the living room a calm place to be. Nails dig deep in my shoulder, my grip grows tighter in your hair, the clouds part just in time for the wince before that smile I've been working for all afternoon. Placing my hand to brace myself must have spread the crack, because just after you pulled me in, the window spidered out and shattered. We could only laugh, trying to avoid all the tiny cuts. I've never experienced all of this, any of this. I hope to build a world of love, compassion, hard-earned understanding, leading to making someone happy any chance it may come about. I know it sounds desperate, but who doesn't want eternal joy? Now, in that, I put so much detail in there, you almost forgot that it's about a couple fucking on a couch. So you can really use it as a distraction and just a real theme to the story to be just a place where anything can happen. I could have chose a couple arguing or a couple doing nothing, but I chose fucking on a couch. But today, the prompt I have for you should be something similar to what I did. Doesn't have to go as overly detailed, but I would like you to write something happy happening in an unhappy place. Until then, thank you, and we'll see you next time.